Benchmark indices remained under pressure after opening lower. Nifty slips below 21,700. Meanwhile, Sensex trades near 72,000. Broader markets in tandem. Banks IT weigh on indices. All constituents barring Bandhan Bank on the Nifty Bank index in the red. SBI dips over 2%. Nifty Pharma is in the sole shining spot in the market. It hits life high in early trades. Gains over 1% led by Lupin and Glenmark Pharma. And Iran sends a warship to the Red Sea after the US Navy destroyed 3 Houthi boats. Crude rises over 1% as traders expect geopolitical tensions to escalate. And Adani Group Chairman Gautam Adani says most challenging year ends with strength and integrity validated by Supreme Court panel. Hello and welcome. I'm Agam, Vakil, and you're watching the F&O Show, a show in which we take you through all that is happening in the derivatives markets in Indian equities. But before that, a quick look at how the markets are faring, and we are looking at weakness this Tuesday morning. We are looking at the benchmarks coming off substantially, trading near day's lows, down around 0.5% for the Nifty as well as the Sensex. In fact, when it comes to the Nifty, it's not looking that great because as we speak, it's down about 0.6%. And it's the same for the Bank Nifty as well, which is almost down around 0.8%. So a lot of weakness coming in. That's largely on account of heavyweights like State Bank of India and HDFC. So large caps not looking that great. What about the broader markets? Well, broader markets are holding on, but they may be outperforming the benchmarks, but they're not exactly doing well either because they're also currently trending in the red. Mid cap as well as the small cap indices currently down by anywhere between 0.6 to 0.8% as we speak. So it seems to be secular selling across the markets. And if we can quickly take a look at the advanced decline ratio before we start talking about the futures and options space as well. The advanced decline ratio, I reckon, would perhaps be a lot weaker as compared to what we saw yesterday. In fact, it's a reverse, so to speak. And just about an hour ago, perhaps, not an hour ago, but yeah, perhaps maybe around 45 minutes ago is where we actually saw a reversal in the advanced decline ratio. Not very encouraging there either. Let's talk about the futures and options space. And for now, as one might expect, we are seeing further increase in open interest as far as the Nifty futures go. Not too much, but an increase all the same. And the question really is, where do we go from here? Because we do need to remember that we're coming on the back of some very strong gains last week. And should we end in the red, this will be perhaps the third day where we see a little bit of volatility return. Now, while the Nifty did not close in the red yesterday, in the last 30 minutes were certainly volatile. And that's something that will also play on the minds of a lot of traders in today's day of trade. Currently, of course, the Nifty is down. Let's take a look at the Bank Nifty as well and see what's really happening there. So that's where we are seeing about 2% increase in open interest as the underlying declines by around 0.8. The Bank Nifty future specifically do see a lot more weakness, currently trading near day's lows. Now, when it comes to your options market, until yesterday, we were seeing a lot of OI build up around the 21,700 put. And that naturally has changed dramatically because now we're seeing the underlying well below that mark. In fact, the underlying is at around 21,600. So I reckon a lot of the action will have shifted back to the 21,500 put. On the higher end, we'll continue to see a lot of increase as far as the 22,000 call is concerned. And a lot of traders were on the consensus that that is in fact where we will see a tough amount of resistance there. So, that's certainly playing out at the moment. And we've seen the premiums rise as well, even as your benchmarks decline. So that's something that to keep an eye on as well. as far as your stocks go, not too much to speak for. I'm sure that there will be plenty of counters to keep an eye on. But I want to pull up the Bank Nifty index specifically because that's where we are seeing a lot more traction in today's day of trade. Let's pull up the constituents of the Bank Nifty and see which of these constituents are in fact seeing short covering, long unwinding, and perhaps fresh shorts as well. And we should have that for you as well, because among the 12, in fact, all of them are now trending in the red. We don't have a single constituent of the Bank Nifty which is currently trading well higher. And we are looking at a lot of longs, long unwinding in something like a State Bank of India and Punjab National Bank, but shorts building up in HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, as well as Axis Bank. So those are the three top stocks that you need to keep an eye on in terms of, weakness coming through. And on that note, let's get in our experts for today. We have Vinay Rajani, CMT and Senior Technical and Derivatives Analyst at HDFC Securities, and Dhwani Patel. She's the founder of Finversity. Both of you, thanks for joining it. When I start with you, your view on the markets, is this a time where markets have now finally gone to consolidation, or can we in fact expect weakness to come through, at least in the near term?
So good morning, Agam. So definitely a cautious approach should be taken up.
Okay.
See close of the So close of today is very important because 21,593 was a previous swing high on the Nifty, and that was a crucial support. And in the intraday, we can see that Nifty has breached that level. So sometimes it happens that in intraday it breaks the support and again recovers. So today's close is very important to take the positional view. But as far as trading view is concerned, short-term view is concerned, definitely Nifty is looking weak. It has breached 5 days exponential moving average also, which was placed at 21,630 odd levels. So in that way, definitely cautious stance should be taken. Till now, Nifty has given good returns, but now trend seems to be changing. We will definitely review at the close, but as of now, it looks weaker. And advanced decline also is looking weak today. Advanced decline ratio is 1:2. So breadth is also not supporting today. Mid caps, small caps are also facing some profit booking. So this is the time to take a cautious approach, and below 21,590 definitely Nifty looks weak, and we may see a further correction in the market. So overall, I think below 48,000 in Bank Nifty and below 21,590 in Nifty, one should take a cautious approach, and one should come on the sidelines. So I'm not taking a significant aggressive sell view, but definitely the long should be squared off at this point of time.
All right, and as we speak, the Nifty has also lost out on the 21,600 mark, currently at 21,575. So that weakness certainly seems to have seeped in as far as the benchmarks are concerned. Dhwani, good morning to you as well. How are you seeing these indices? Are you also expecting a little more weakness, or are you just playing with caution while you hold on to your positions?
Good morning. Definitely, yes, I am holding a cautious view over here. Seeing the slip that is coming in on the index right now, and broadly, we are seeing sector-specific participation also coming in the profit booking. We are seeing not only the banking giving up its gain, we are also seeing the IT and also the metal index, auto index, each one of these index giving up its gain. So further down, cautious view comes in over here on Nifty. The next level that I am watching out for is 21,460 as a mark. Once we breach that, further sell-off can also be expected. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 21,300 as a mark on the index in this profit taking that is coming in. For Bank Nifty specifically, the first level has already reached. The first level I was expecting over here on the index was 47,800. We are trading tad above that level, but I'm expecting further weakness coming in on Bank Nifty, as well as the major banking names are seeing some profit booking over here. On Bank Nifty, the next level that I am going to watch out over here is 47,500. Once we breach that level, then we open up next gates for 47,000 as well.
Sure. And something very curious happening in the markets at the moment, because while we are seeing substantial weakness in the Bank Nifty and the Nifty, the Fin Nifty seems to be holding on to the kind of losses, for now at least. One might expect that the Fin Nifty would also correct quite substantially, but that has not been the case. And we must also remember that today is a Fin Nifty weekly options expiry. So while the Nifty and the Bank Nifty had shed nearly 1% in trade. The Fin Nifty is holding on to, well, losses of just about 0.5%. And in terms of the 21,300 put as well, that seems to have held off, and we are in fact seeing a depreciation in the premium of the 21,300 put, even as we see its peers like the Nifty and the Bank Nifty continue to fall. So it's certainly turning out to be a curious one. Vinay, if I can take your view on the Fin Nifty purely on an intraday basis. One, what is your view? And secondly, how would you play this considering today is a weekly options expiry?
Yeah, so today definitely it is outperforming the Bank Nifty and Nifty. It is less down. But if you were to see overall scenario, Fin Nifty has formed a double top formation pattern at 21,600 a few days back, and it reversed south, and now it is facing some selling pressure also. So though it is showing some strength in today's session as compared to Nifty and Bank Nifty, but overall there is a double top formation, which is a trend reversal pattern on the short term charts. And unless and until we see Fin Nifty crosses 21,600 on the upside, one should remain cautious. So today is an expiry, so there could be a different movement in Fin Nifty, but I think one should take a cautious approach also. So right now in last 1 hour, we have seen a significant amount of selling in the Bank Nifty. So as of now, Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, HDFC Bank have not seen some panic selling. That is why maybe Fin Nifty is not falling. But I would suggest that one should also take a cautious approach in the Fin Nifty. And the next support for the Fin Nifty comes in at around 21,200 odd level. So I'm expecting correction to extend towards that level. So 21,200 in spot is the next support for the Fin Nifty.
Okay, fair enough. Dhwani, your view on the Fin Nifty on an intraday basis and perhaps a positional view as well. How are you reading these data?
Yeah, absolutely, Agam. Over here, Fin Nifty, definitely we are seeing some cautious view coming in. But what importantly on an intraday chart that is necessary is that we had seen a small gap up opening on 27th of December over here. And the same level has acted out as a support over here. The next intraday move that I'd expect is if we are taking up a support at 21,280 odd levels over here, which we have also seen, then I'm expecting a bounce over here. But once we break that level, then the next level to watch out over here is of 21,200.
Fair enough. That also makes a lot of sense, because should it show more weakness from here on, naturally we will see a little bit more selling pressure coming on as far as the Fin Nifty is concerned. Well, caution, however, is a consensus as far as both our experts are concerned. On that note, we're going to slip into a short break, but on the other side we talk about stocks and a lot more. Stay tuned in. Welcome back to the F&O Show, and now we take a look at all the stocks which are buzzing in trade, specifically those in the derivative segment. Let's take a look at all those stocks which are in fact seeing an increase in open interest towards perhaps shorts or longs. Well, we do have a lot in terms of those which are buzzing, but right at the top of the list, we have something like a Divi's Laboratories, which is in fact seeing an increase in OI towards longs, along with Delta Corp as well as Metropolis. Eicher Motors and Bata will under a tad bit of pressure, so we are seeing some shorts building up there. And what about those which are in fact seeing unwinding coming through? I'm sure there'll be a slightly longer list in terms of those stocks which are seeing longs unwinding. There you have it. UBL, GMR in airports, LIC Housing Finance, along with Bajaj Auto, all of them looking at a long unwinding. And Bharti Airtel, on the other hand, marginally higher and about a short covering coming through. With that, let's shift focus to all the stock ideas that our experts have for us. Dhwani, I'm going to come to you on, two pharma names. One you have a long call on and one you have a short call on. Can you take us through these, please?
Yes, absolutely. What I'm seeing over here, the first stock that I've picked is PI Industries. PI Industries, we've already been seeing that the structure is weak over here. And overall, what we're seeing today is that the stock is again taking a resistance around 3,500 levels. I'm expecting a downfall from the current levels on this particular counter. One can go short over here. And my target over here on the first is at 3,345. Once we break those levels, we can see further sell-off come on in this particular counter. The stop loss that one need to maintain over here is of 35.20. The second counter that I've picked up is granules. Again, over here, the reason is that the chart structure over here is on the bullish side. An intraday move is very specifically interesting me over here, where we definitely saw some 2% of gain. We did see some profit booking coming in, but then again, we are on the higher side. So from current levels, one can go long on granules, and the target on the higher side over here is of 435. Stop loss that one needs to maintain over here is of 414.
All right. So those are two calls coming in from the chemicals and pharma space. Vinay, what about you? What stocks are you betting on today?
Yeah, so basically today pharma sector has been showing strength, and the primary trend was also positive, and today's resilience move, I think it is looking convincing in this kind of market also, when Nifty has breached the support in intraday, but these stocks and pharma sector is really looking very strong. So I see some opportunities, and one of the stock which I like in the pharma space is the Dr. Reddy. So Dr. Reddy January futures one can go long in trading. So around 5950 one can go long. Trading stop loss can be kept at 5850. 2% stop loss, and on the upside I'm expecting a target of 6100. So overall, I see strength in the pharma space across the board. I see buying coming in not only in the F&O space but also in the cash market, and mid-cap pharma stocks have been doing good. So I am bullish on Dr. Reddy January future. The second stock I would like to go short is the Mahindra and Mahindra January future. So auto stocks has been showing weakness since yesterday, and after forming a doji candlestick pattern yesterday, we saw some follow-up selling coming in the stock like M&M. So auto stocks looking weak on the chart, and if market remains like this, the stock like M&M can fall further. So I am suggesting going short in M&M January future around 1680. Stop loss can be kept at 1715, and on the downside, I am expecting a target of 1635. And view for both of these recommendation would remain for 1 to 3 days.
Okay, well, that's as far as your views on a handful of stock ideas are concerned. At the moment, of course, we'll continue to keep an eye on a whole host of these counters which are buzzing in trade. And on that note, going to, take a look at Maruti Suzuki. But before that, let me quickly thank our experts, both Vinay and Dhwani, for joining us and taking us through their views on the markets, which, of course, is a challenging one, at least as at the moment, as things stand right now. And with that, we'll move on to Maruti Suzuki, as I was mentioning, where the sales for December fell around 1.3%. We spoke to Shashank Srivastav on his outlook on the auto sector, as well as factors that may, in fact, impact the industry going into 2024. Listen in.
Generally speaking, the auto industry growth is very closely related to the GDP growth, the per capita GDP growth. And there the projection so far is about 6.5% or thereabouts. And that's very positive because there is a very high correlation between the auto industry growth. In fact, correlation, statistically speaking, the R square factor is about 0.983, which is a pretty high correlation. So anything which negatively affects the overall economic growth would affect the auto industry growth as well. Of course, auto loan rates, if they were to go up, will also adversely affect because 80% of the retails in the industry happens through the auto loans. And therefore, any interest rate hikes there would be negative for the industry. Also, the fuel prices can go either way. Because of the geopolitical situation, it's possible that you could see spikes upward for the fuel prices, or if everything happens okay, you could even see a lower demand if overall demand for energy comes down, depending on the economic growth in other countries. So there are many factors which can affect. The commodity prices is the other big thing. It's a big cost. Material cost is about 75%, 77% of the overall cost of any auto OEM. And any changes in the commodity prices, which will reflect in material cost changes, would obviously also affect the industry. So there are many factors, and I think we continue to make estimates of which way and take positions on which way the things will move. And right now it does appear that things are positive and we can expect positive growth. Only thing is that this high level of volumes which we have already achieved, you would expect the growth to be muted and, in my opinion, a single digit.
Well, we have taken stock of all that is happening in the benchmarks. I want to also quickly take a look at how your broader market stocks are doing. And there's been a little bit of an arrest when it comes to the fall that we saw earlier on in the session. But I do want to address something like a Mankind Pharma, which is up and about in today's day of trade, up around 5.2%. And Lupin as well, which is up around 4.5%. We have gains in Gland Pharma, up around 3%. And Biocon is also up as much as 2.9%. So the top 4 gainers on the mid-cap 100 are all from the pharmaceutical space. A lot of gains coming in. Besides that, we have something like an NMDC, which also continues to climb. NMDC is also doing a 3% gain, in fact, currently trading near day's highs. And that's what we have in terms of all the stocks which are, in fact, countering the kind of volatility that we have seen in the last hour of trade. Well, on that note, it's a wrap on the F&O show, but lots more lined up on the other side. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.